Hi, welcome to our dinner table. We are going to play a game of TropeQuest and walk you through turn by turn a full game. And what else are we going to do?
That's it.
That's all we're
going to
do.
play the game.
Yeah, we're going to have fun, guys. We're going to have fun. All right, so the first thing we do in a game of TropeQuest is we set up the board. Now, we've got our replay tokens here. And also, we have a couple decks to choose from, and we've also got a bunch of boards to choose from. So we have to decide which board, which story we want to do, and which deck we want to do. We have science fiction and fantasy. So first, sci-fi or fantasy?
Sci-fi.
Okay, all right. So one of these is this one. This one's sci-fi. Okay. Now, which story do you guys want to do?
So many options.
Yeah, so man, wow.
Wow.
Oh, download from our store.
We could do a murder or a heist or...
How about a romance?
It is almost Valentine's Day.
It's
That's
almost
true.
Valentine's Day as of the filming of
Unless
this.
you're watching this in the future.
Yeah. Okay, so
The romance story.
romance.
Head
That's what we're
over
gonna do.
blank.
And let's just toss these over there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So the next thing that we do to start a game of TropeQuest is the owner of the game makes up a rule to determine who goes first. So I made the game. I also cut out all of the cards. So I think whoever cuts out the cards counts as the owner of the game because that's the most work. All right. So
Fair enough.
I'm going to make up a rule. I'm going to say first person to touch their nose is going first. Go. I don't want to go first. All right. So it's settled. I think I'm going first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's-
And then we deal each player 3 cards to start. All right. So here you go. 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Now, so on my turn, I'm going first. I'm the narrator, so I'm going to read the first prompt. And the first prompt says, hero's life revolves around blank. So now they're going to submit a card to me that they think suits this prompt the best, face down. And then we're going to add one more face down card from the deck that's totally random. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. I shuffle these a little bit so I don't know who submitted what. I've already forgotten where the cards are, and I turn it over. So the hero's life revolves around either adorable, fuzzy little critter, previously unknown familial connection, and a gigantic robot. Okay, so I'm going to go with gigantic robot. Our hero's life revolves around a gigantic robot. Now, you might be wondering, what does that mean? What kind of gigantic robot? What does it mean that his life revolves around a gigantic robot? So my job as a narrator is to explain a little bit more of the story so it makes sense to everybody. So our hero's life revolves around a gigantic robot. When he was a kid in a farm growing up, a gigantic robot fell out of the sky and landed in the farm. And since that day, it's basically this 10-foot tall pet that follows him around everywhere. But it requires a lot of maintenance. It's always knocking things over. It's causing a lot of problems. And he really just has to be the caretaker of this gigantic robot. His life revolves around it.
What's this robot's name?
The robot is Zudd.
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 Zudd the robot.
And the boy's name is Rebo.
Rebo and Zudd.
Rebo and Zudd. The
Okay.
Adventure of Rebo and Zudd. All right, who put down gigantic robot?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Okay, well, usually what happens is the 2 players that played a card each get to draw back up the card that another card to make up for the one that they played. So you get to draw a card.
Do this now.
We do?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then if a player's card was chosen, they get to draw an extra card. In this case, nobody's card was chosen. The random card got chosen, so they don't get any extra cards. No points for anybody. Okay.
Womp.
Womp. All right, so that's the beginning of the game, and play
Zudd and
continues.
Rebo?
Zudd and Rebo. Yep, Zudd was the robot. Rebo is our
hero.
protagonist. Yeah. And next, Rosa, it's your turn.
All right. So our hero is single mostly because of.
Okay. All right. Okay, I've got a good one there.
I have a mediocre
Shuffle
one.
these. So our hero is single mostly because of a rare substance with unique properties,
Okay.
a child with special powers,
Mhm.
or failure to understand basic human emotions.
Hmm.
So, since a young boy, Rebo has been interacting with Zudd. You know, that's been his best friend and his companion, the one he goes to when he's struggling with anything, you know, and because of that, he's kind of taken on the traits of a robot, and he has failed to really understand basic human emotion because he hasn't interacted with a lot of humans. He's just been with Zudd for so long now that he doesn't know what to do when it comes to love.
Wow. Okay. I played that card, so I get an extra card, and then
Nice.
also we draw cards to make up for the card that
Okay.
we already draw a card for the turn. Okay.
You draw 2.
Yep.
Nice.
And now I'm up to 4 cards. More
All
choices. The rewards. Of,
Our hero, Rebo, meets a new love interest thanks to
oh. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this. There we
Alright.
go. Okay.
I'm gonna get our extra one
Okay.
and shuffle off on. The hero
I hope she
meets
fixed mine.
Rebo meets his new love interest thanks to ripples of mysterious energy. Extreme reaction to something mundane. Bipedal version of an earth creature. So one day Rebo was, so he's a farmer, right?
He grew up on a farm.
Okay.
He could be anywhere now.
Okay, so he grew up on a farm with his robot, Zudd, and he's since moved to the city, trying to make a new life for himself. You know, he doesn't want to be a farmer, and he's realized because he has this huge failure to understand basic human emotions, he needs to spend some more time around real people and not so many cows. So, and robots. So he brings Zudd into the city with him, and their first day in the city, Rebo's walking down the street with Zudd, and Zudd sees a bus. And Zudd has never seen anything like a bus before because they've lived in this country. They see tractors, they see regular cars and trucks, but he's never seen a bus. So Zudd, being the robot he is, grabs the bus and starts to try to flip it, and manages to flip the bus, but thankfully there was actually nobody in the bus except for the driver. But when Rebo sees the bus driver, Rebo's the person, right? Yeah, Rebo sees this bus driver and immediately falls in love.
Oh.
And helps the bus driver get out of the bus that Zudd is flipping over.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So Rebo
So I
rescues the
chose
bus
extreme
driver.
reaction to something mundane.
Okay.
Ah.
Because of Zudd's extreme reaction
Zudd had
to
an
a bus.
To a bus.
Wow.
Yes, Zudd had an extreme reaction to a bus.
Wow. That was my card. I'm
Nice.
round
You get 2 cards.
Okay. All right. And I draw 1, and we move on. Now it's my turn. The hero thinks it's pointless to try because of blank. All right. So I guess the hero, now having met a beautiful bus driver, doesn't think that he's got a shot with her. Because of what? Okay, we got 1. Oh, thank you.
Sorry,
Oh,
it's not
sorry.
great. I don't have the right cards for this.
Okay, so we're gonna
Unless
go
you're
ahead
very
and mix
creative,
things up.
which you
I
are.
don't know. Sometimes you think like it's the worst card, and it's like the most obvious card for somebody else. I don't know. The hero thinks it's pointless to try because of the passage of several thousand years. I mean, if that happened, maybe he would. Okay,
Probably pointless.
I'm gonna try to think. All right, a rogue asteroid. Okay, all right, and a noble race of warriors with weird faces.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen that card.
All right, I'm going to go with noble race of warriors with weird faces. All right, this female bus driver is like some sort of Klingon-looking alien from a race of warrior people that all have like their faces are upside down, so their mouth is here and their eyes are here. And Rebo thinks it's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen.
I mean, when the bus was flipped, he probably
Yeah,
saw her
he
with
saw
her face the right way.
Yes, exactly. So he thinks she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. However, she's very standoffish towards him, and like when he pulls her out of the bus, and he's like, "Wow!" Like she gives him like this frown, and then just like tosses him off her. Like, she lifts him up over her head and says, "Don't you dare touch me!" And then like tosses him off to the side. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, ooh, ouch!" Like not just physically hurt, but emotionally hurt by her gruffness.
Poor Rebo.
Yeah. All right, who played that card?
Not me.
Not me.
What's wrong with me?
I played Rogue Asteroid.
Right. Well, go ahead and draw your card. And yep, I hereby pass the turn.
All right.
All right. Encouragement comes in the form of.
All right. Encouragement. I'm gonna try this.
All right. So after being tossed aside by this warrior woman with an upside down face, he loses hope at first, but then he's encouraged by Evangelical Cyborg. Evangelical Cyborg. Floating around in zero gravity. Exotic badass fighter chick. Okay. So, our hero is Rebo?
Rebo.
He's tossed aside in the gravel and he just feels distraught. He just saw this most beautiful woman that he's ever seen, but she's obviously not interested in him. And, he starts to walk away and, he feels all, distraught. This is someone that he really feels like he could have a connection with if he tried, but she doesn't seem to be interested. But then this evangelical cyborg he sees there standing on the side of the street with a big sign that just says, "Love is just a look away." And handing out pamphlets all about love and seeking out your true destiny. And he sees that as his sign. And he turns around and he gives her a look.
Oh,
and he power walks towards her.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Very aggressive. Maybe that's just what.
Oh,
what
that
he
was my
needs.
card, so.
All right, well done.
So I'll take 2 for that. All right. So our poor hero, Rebo, determined to get this upside down face love, he tries to impress her with what? Hero tries to impress his love interest with what? Let's grab our extra card.
All right, here you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Rebo tries to impress his face love, or
Upside down.
upside face love interest with subtle mind control techniques,
Oh.
remote control that works on most things, and galactic civil war.
Oh.
Galactic civil war. So he has this giant robot Zudd, and Zudd has a lot of automated functions, but for everything else, he has this giant remote control. And since Rebo has spent most of his time with Zudd, he even has a button on it that says, like, "Give me a hug." So he walks right up to her, full confidence, pulls out his remote, presses the give me a hug button. Because he doesn't understand that doesn't work on people. Because he doesn't spend much time with anyone else. So he uses his remote control that works on most things. And he tries to show her, because he can also use it on Zudd to make Zudd express different feelings. So he presses the different buttons to make Zudd react in certain ways.
So he thinks that she will just give him affection if he pushes
if he presses the right buttons on his remote, and he's confident this will work when he walks up to her.
Okay. All right. Who played that card?
Not me.
Wasn't me.
Man, this deck is...
You played Galactic
tropes
War?
against... Did you play
Wait,
Galactic?
did I play Galactic Civil? No, I played,
I played Subtle Mind Control.
Wait. Oh.
Did you play the wrong card?
Wait, which
Did
card
you play
did I
this? Remote control that works on most
I
things?
think I did. No, it was me. I was like,
you
wait.
played Galactic Civil War.
I didn't play that. I didn't play this. I'll draw an extra
Remember
card.
your cards.
I don't even remember which card. All right. There's just so much going on here.
I mean, someone seemed like a pretty good one.
It does.
All right. Sorry. All right. So mine is the attempt fails badly due to blank.
Well.
All right. So, I mean, we can kind of suspect that this is failing badly, but it could go even worse.
There could be another reason.
I mean, it already failed. Why did it fail badly? Maybe.
That's a good way to put it.
Oh yeah, gotta draw a rando card. And here we go. So his love interest stands there. He pushes a button. It doesn't do anything. The attempt fails badly due to eerily specific ancient prophecy. Being host to a parasitic organism.
I'll do it.
Yes. And a language barrier.
All of these would work, actually.
I mean, this is just the most obvious one, so I'll just play the most obvious one. A language barrier. So, she does not really speak all that much English, and so when he walks up there, he pushes the button, expecting a hug, and then she just stares at him, confused, and he says, "Now give me a hug," and she wrinkles her brow or her chin or whatever that thing is down there, and she says, "Excuse me?" It's like, "Give me a hug," and he starts going like this, and in her culture, this means let's fight, let's wrestle, and so she interprets this as an act, like a fighting words, basically, and then proceeds to jujitsu him down onto the ground and has him in an arm bar, and he's like, no. And then he cries, and then she gets up and looks at him with the most utter disdain, and then just walks away.
Poor Rebo.
And then the bus explodes, and her hair blows in the wind, and she looks really cool, and he's like,
explodes in the background.
Yeah.
But they're having this
She
whole encounter.
tosses a cigarette.
If someone wants to make fan art for this, please do.
Upside down face kick.
With the
Like
bus
a
exploding.
cigarette.
Yeah.
All right, so we.
Oh, yeah,
we
who
do
played
it.
That was mine. So
That
I
was
guess it's
not
yours.
mine.
Okay. And our hero has another plan that involves.
All right, glad he's not giving up.
He tries to woo her again.
Here we go.
Hmm.
Oh,
All right. So after those fighting words,
After he's been reduced to a puddle of simpering goo
yes,
on the sidewalk.
he's just sitting there crying as her hair is blowing in the smoke.
Yeah. Sirens playing.
Yeah.
What color is her hair?
Oh, good question. Her hair is, what's an exotic color?
Maybe not exotic, but it could be like the color of blood.
Oh, yeah, it's just blood.
blood red.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is exotic.
Okay. So the hero has another plan that involves an engineer who prefers machines to people, Sounds familiar. Suddenly firing a laser pistol. A vast empire that dominates countless worlds, sorry.
I mean,
Words.
probably also words.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna go with suddenly firing a laser pistol.
Yes.
So our hero, he doesn't necessarily have a plan in mind. He's just sitting there whimpering, and he's seeing all this chaos going around him, and he's seeing her just look off into the flames when all of these sirens start surrounding them, and suddenly someone starts firing off a laser pistol, and all around people are starting to freak out, run every which way, and he sees standing there this upside down faced woman looking panicked, and he runs to her and he covers her, and he wants to protect her and show her that he loves her, and he's not trying to fight, he just wants to be there for her.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's trying to protect her from all these lasers that are being fired suddenly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my card.
Nice.
Huzzah! I get 2 cards this time.
I get 1. At least the deck didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but instead, not because he protected her, they form a genuine connection over what? What do they form their genuine connection over?
I'm playing this just because it's funny. I don't think I'll choose it.
That's
Sometimes you choose it.
sometimes you choose it because it's funny. Yeah. Instead, they form genuine connection over the time police, interspecies hanky-panky, oxygen or lack thereof. I'm going to jump in with a replay card because I don't know what to do.
Okay, alright, so now it's time to explain replay cards. When you look at your options and you don't really like any of them, you can use one of the 3 replays next to the board. The way you do that is you put the card in the space. Go ahead and do that. Just show the people how this technology works. And then you put the token corresponding to it onto the card you wish to copy.
An extreme reaction to something mundane.
And now it's basically as if she had played that card again in this space.
So, as he's huddling over her, she looks at him, and at first she's like getting her angry face on her again, her angry upside down face, and is like about to push him away. But then she looks at his arm and sees his watch, which is just a regular watch for the most part. He thought it was a gift to him from one of his cousins on some other planet. So he never thought anything of it. It was just a really cool looking watch. It was a little funky. It was pretty unique. But she looks at it and freezes, and she says, "Where did you get that?" And he's like, it's just my watch. I don't know, my cousin, I think." And she starts freaking out, but in a happy way, and she's really excited. And he sees she has a similar one on her arm, actually.
Oh.
And she's like freaking out, and he's not sure what's going on. And then she touches their watches together, and they teleport away from that place.
Wow.
What a twist. Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking, like, if you chose oxygen or lack thereof, like, he accidentally chokes her
Oh.
while he jumps on her, and then, like, she's unconscious when he gets up, and then she wakes up, she's like, you bested me.
Respect.
That would
Yeah.
make more sense.
No, this is better. This is better.
I don't know how that was easier for me to
Alright.
think of
Alright.
anything before.
Did we draw a card?
You
we
each
still
get
draw
one
a card.
card.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still draw a card, but we didn't beat the replay.
Yeah, sorry, I just...
All right. Next, they share a romantic moment featuring blank. All right. So they just teleported out of whatever place they were just in. I guess it's a street corner on planet Earth or something. Oh, here's the random card. And now they are having a romantic moment.
I don't know, sorry.
Okay, don't apologize yet. They share a romantic moment featuring stoic, morally ambiguous bounty hunter.
Oh.
Alright. Vanishing in a flash of light, which I think they kind of
They
just
kind
did.
of did,
You already
yeah.
did that.
Alright. And ubiquitous game with rules that are not clear. Alright. I'm going to go with vanishing in a flash of light. Alright. So first, they vanish in a flash of light. That's not it's going to happen again. Alright. So and then they appear somewhere like on a. It looks like they're standing on a barren planet with like craters pockmarked everywhere, and you can see the sky in the background. And he's like, "What is this place?" And she says, "This." Like she looks at him, and he can hear her voice in his head. Like she's not even, her little upside down mouth is not even moving. And she said, "This is the planet where my ancestors came from. And long ago, there was a man who came from Earth and helped us in a time of great need." And it says, and his family was given like one of our ancestral armbands.
Oh.
Yeah. And you are.
That's why it doesn't tell time.
Yeah. And you are a descendant of this great hero. And I can tell by the way that even though you became such a sad little excuse for a man a moment ago, you know, you were just hiding your true nature as a great hero. I can see it. And then she leans in and kisses him.
Oh. How does this work?
I don't know. They kiss each other's foreheads, basically. And then in that moment, like light energy grows between the two of them, and they go, and they vanish from that scene and reappear, boom, back on the street corner where they just were.
Oh. Weren't they trying to escape the sun firing pistols and running?
Police.
Oh yeah, a different street corner,
Okay.
a safe one.
A safe street corner.
Safe street corner.
Wow.
All
So
right.
after that romantic moment,
Oh yeah.
they start to
Oh,
have
that was
problems.
mine actually. That was mine. Yeah.
Did you get your card?
I didn't know. Well, whoops, I didn't press the I'm sorry. Okay. So after they have their romantic moment, they start to have problems because of.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. All right. So they start to have problems because of a simulated world indistinguishable from reality, catastrophic systems failure, and weird space drugs.
Yeah, those are all problems.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with simulated world indistinguishable from reality.
Okay.
All right. So they appear back, and they're on that same street corner.
Mm-hmm.
That all that chaos was just happening, but everything's peaceful.
Oh.
And he looks
Sweet.
around, and no one else is there. And he turns to her, and he's like, "What's going on? Where is everyone? Where's my robot?" And she's like, "This is my world. You are part of my world now." And he's like,
But Zudd!
I need Zudd. I need my robot. Like, can we go back?" And she's like, "No, you're in my world now."
That's a problem.
That is a big problem. They're having serious problems.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Alright, well, I didn't play that card.
I did
Oh.
actually.
One
I
card
forgot.
after that.
That was mine. All right. So things are getting rocky, and they break up after a nasty fight involving what?
Okay.
Here's the random card.
A horse whinnying. Apparently.
That's why they break up.
That's my thinking noise. Whinny like a horse, apparently. There's so many good ones. Okay, I like this though.
All right. A nasty fight. So they break up after a nasty fight involving possibly unnecessary self-destruct button, an android pretending to be human, and a bodacious planetary queen. Oh.
I mean, what is there to fight over in a simulation?
Yeah. So he's angry with her already. He's saying, like, I need my Zudd. Where's my robot? How am I gonna... I can't live in this world. I would rather be dead. And she's like, that's really extreme. Like, calm down. And he whips out his remote that works on most things. And he shows her and he says, this is a self-destruct button. And I'll use it if you don't take me back to where Zudd is. So he has this possibly unnecessary self-destruct button. And he threatens to use it, and she was... and he's like, this is over. Our relationship is over.
He's going to destroy her simulated world.
And he said, I'll destroy your simulated world and both of us if you don't take me back to Zudd. And she goes, fine, fine. I'll send you back, but I'm not coming with you. And so she sends him back to this other street corner, and he appears, and the cops are there confused, and his robot is there also confused.
That was mine.
Okay. Oh, well done.
Draw 2.
Okay, I draw one card. And, alright, mine. The hero, now back on a street corner on Earth with some police and his robot, he realizes that actually it was true love. He just got in a fight with this upside down faced girl, but he realizes that it was true love thanks to blank. So something happens, or he thinks about something, and he realizes, hey, it's true love. Okay, gotta get a random card here. Okay. Realizes it was true love thanks to a horde of insectoid creatures.
Okay.
A huge freaking worm. There's a theme established here. I'm kind of getting like ushered in one direction here. Or last survivor of an extinct species. All right. All right. I guess I'm gonna go with last survivor of an extinct species. And I'm gonna say that the hero is there on the street corner. The cops are running around. They're looking. They're saying, "All right, we're looking for witnesses. We're looking for a Zaboglinian." And there was supposed to be there was a bus driver. The driver of this bus that caused all this ruckus and blew it up was a Zaboglinian, and we need to find her now. And then there's like, oh, so what's a Zaboglian? It's like, the one with the upside down face. She's the last one of her kind, actually, and we need to find her now because she's missing and possibly related to this accident that happened. And the hero thinks, oh my gosh, she's the last of her kind, and she was going to choose me to be her mate. Wow. It was true love. She really did have feelings for her. She had a strange way of expressing it, but she's
Teleporting you to a simulated world.
Simulated world, and then choked me out or almost broke my arm one time. But this is something truly precious. The only one of her kind in the entire universe.
The way she kissed my forehead.
Yeah, that was so hot. Like, I have to get back with her. I have to. All right, so that was that.
Wow.
So who played that one?
Oh, that was me.
Oh,
It was not me.
All right. So he realizes he needs to get back to her, and so he makes a grand gesture involving.
Okay.
So he knows he has to get back, but he doesn't know how. So our hero makes a grand gesture involving hyper-intelligent AI, impenetrable force field, a robotic arm. All right. So I'm gonna go with robotic arm.
Okay.
So our hero runs up to Zoid, is the robot?
Zudd.
Zudd.
To Zudd. And he's like, Zudd, stick out your arm. I need you to amplify this. And a huge satellite comes out from Zudd's arm, or a huge, like those dishes.
Yeah, satellite dishes.
Satellite dish. And he speaks into the microphone that's in Zudd's elbow.
Oh!
And
It's just like
he,
hey!
yes, he projects this radio signal across the galaxy.
Wow.
And he says, Zalerblia, that's her name.
Zalerblia. Oh yeah, she never had a name.
Zalerblia, I love you. And I was wrong.
Oh.
I see how beautiful you are. And I know how much I need you now. Take me back to your simulated world. I'll do anything for you.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's beautiful.
When you chose that, I thought you were gonna say like he rips off his robot's arm and is
Yeah,
like, look,
that's
I
all
don't
I
care
heard.
about
That's all I
Zudd. I care about you.
Yeah, that's all
I like what you did a lot better.
That's way better than I would have done.
Was that yours?
No.
It wasn't mine.
Oh, no.
I played hyper
That was the best one though.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
If there wasn't a good one, I was going to replay Gigantic Robot.
Oh, you had a plan.
I did.
Wow. All right. Well, they get back together and celebrate with. Random.
Two good ones. This one's funnier.
Alright, I'm just gonna play this.
All right. Well, they get back together and celebrate with a one-eyed tentacle blob monster.
I mean, they know how to party.
True. Horribly disfigured mutant.
I mean, they know how to party.
Flavorless nutrient paste with unknown ingredients.
It's one nice dinner.
So she hears his signal coming from Zudd's arm, and she's amazed that it penetrated into her simulated world, and she knows what she has to do, and she teleports back there, grabs his hand, looks up at Zudd, grabs his hand, and they all three teleport together back to the simulated world where there's nobody else. And they're like, yay, we made it, yay, happy, and they're in love and they kiss, except for the robot just watches. And then,
Just like creepily, like,
and then they're like, Rebo's like, oh yeah, I'm getting a little hungry, like let's go get some food. And then he's like, oh, my favorite restaurant's right around the corner here. And so they go into his favorite restaurant. He's like, oh yeah, there's no people here. And she's like, oh, don't worry, all the restaurants are fully stocked. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, I'll go to the kitchen and grab what they have. And she comes back with a plate of flavorless nutrient paste with unknown ingredients. Because she wasn't great at simulating all human things. She thinks that's just as good as whatever food was there before.
and now he's trapped with her forever.
In this world, and the
It's
only
like
food to eat is flavorless.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode now. It's like, no, it's not fair.
But it's worth it. He has Zablublia. What's her name?
Zablublia.
Zablublia.
Yeah.
Her name is very similar to Zub's name. Oh no, Zudd.
Zudd. Zudd and
Ah,
I was basing
Zablublia.
that off of her species name,
which I
which
already
you
I
forgot.
don't know how to say.
All right. And that is the end of our
That's the
story.
end of the
They
story.
live happily ever after in that simulated reality.
Yeah.
Zudd, Rebo, and Zablublia.
And do they continue the species?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
They make
Yes.
some babies that have sideways faces,
Oh.
90 degrees.
And some of them just have two mouths. And
Or how it is, like they have an eye here and an eye here.
But it's all right because each brood of eggs She
Oh,
lays-
eggs.
She lays a clutch of 30 eggs each time, so
It's very quickly repopulates.
yeah, they very quickly populate
They
their
mature in
world.
only about 3 to 6 weeks as well.
Yeah, so they repopulate the planet pretty quickly with a very interesting species.
Yeah.
And then he finds out 20 years later that they die by spontaneous combustion.
Oh dear.
Yikes. Well, that's how they went extinct.
That's why the bus exploded.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, that's the end of our story.
Yep, so now,
Who wins?
like all games, there is a winner to
This was
TropeQuest.
my card.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it wasn't my card, so I'm just drawing one. All right. So now we count how many cards we have. The person with the most cards is the winner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
She
all right.
wins.
So you are the winner, which means now you have a responsibility,
Oh.
which is to pick the actual winner of the game.
No, the chosen one.
The chosen
one.
Yeah, the chosen one. So, look back at the story and choose your favorite scene from the story that wasn't narrated by yourself.
Unless you really had the best one.
Yeah, I mean, we have to give you props.
Honestly,
here.
I did pick some great cards. No. My favorite moment and the most unexpected moment, in my opinion, was the watches. I feel like it completely changed the trajectory of this whole story, and it gave a whole background to the story as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that is the true winning moment there.
All right. So that was the genuine connection over something mundane was the
Yes.
watches, and that was your replay,
Yeah.
making Hanna tonight's chosen one. I thought you guys would do something.
Yay! I was making faces.
I was imagining animations. Like
Yeah. There's
sparkles.
we'll add that in post. It'll be there. It'll be there. You guys. Yeah. If it isn't there, just imagine. So.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. That was
Thanks.
a good game.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
You can print this exact game
Yeah.
at
Free.
home for
Yeah.
free
What?
at
That's
TropeQuest.com.
what we did.
Here's the
This is
link.
just
Actually,
paper,
I don't.
guys.
Here, somewhere's the link.
So it's gonna be on this video.